everyone. Welcome to yoga. My name is Taylor and I will be guiding you today through a nice flow. If you regularly use blocks in your practice, I would recommend grabbing a couple or anything that you can use like a block. And then if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. You can press the little bell button to get some notifications. And then we are offering one-on-one classes now, so if that interests you, let us know. But other than that, we will start in a seated position today, cross-legged or any other seated variation you're feeling. And then maybe rocking side to side just to really allow yourself to get grounded down, finding some length through the spine, softening the shoulders, maybe bringing your hands to your knees, and then closing or softening the gaze down towards the ground. And if available, allowing yourself to drop in right away, letting go of anything you had to do today, anything you have left to do, really allowing yourself to be present here and now. And a nice way to do that is to focus in on the breath. So to start, not necessarily changing anything about the breath, but just noticing how your inhales and exhales feel. Maybe notice where your inhales flow to, the length of your exhales. And then beginning to breathe with a bit more intention. Really mindfully allowing yourself to fill up from the bottom of the belly on your inhale, through the ribs, into the chest, maybe pausing for a moment at the top of this inhale to just notice what the body feels like, to not breathe in or out. And then when you're ready, exhaling through the nose, from the chest, all the way down to the bottom of the belly. Again, inhaling to fill up. Maybe pausing for a moment. And then slowly exhaling from the chest to the belly. Again, inhaling. This time exhaling right out through the nose. One more time, inhaling to fill up, opening the mouth and exhaling out through the mouth. Just allowing yourself to let go a little bit more. Bringing your hands so your fingers are tented right outside of your hips, about like a foot maybe outside of your hips. And then on your inhale, finding some length. Exhale the right ear towards the right shoulder. If you're feeling some sensation here, staying like this, or maybe taking the left fingertips off of the mat, staying still, or some gentle, subtle movements, rocking the head forward and back. And slowly releasing those left fingertips on the mat, inhaling back to center, exhaling your left ear towards your left shoulder. Again, staying here, or taking the right fingertips off the mat, staying still, or some little movements. Maybe keeping the eyes closed still, just to focus inward. And releasing those right fingers back on the mat, inhaling back to center, and we'll come right into tabletop. So in table, the shoulders are stacked right on the wrist, knees and hips are aligned, fingers are spread wide, so pressing through the palms and knuckles, nice active hands. The elbow creases are facing towards each other, core is already engaged, maybe sucking that belly in and up towards the ribs, and then the head is an extension of the spine here in our neutral tabletop. And on your next inhale, begin to draw the belly down towards the mat, opening up the chest, lifting head and gaze. Exhaling, belly towards spine, up to the sky, releasing your head and neck down towards the mat. And going through these two motions, cat and cow, really opening up the chest, rolling the shoulders back and down in your cow. And in your cat, pressing your hands away from the ground, feeling that space between the shoulder blades. Using your own breath, going at your own pace. Again, maybe keeping the eyes closed. And then making it your own. So if you want some hip circles, whether they're wide or shallow, maybe you want to stay in one of these postures for an extended round of breath. Whatever you need. Maybe child's pose. Couple more rounds of breath like this. Exaggerating your postures. After your next round, coming back into a neutral tabletop. And we'll bring the right leg back and up to hip height so the right foot is nice and flexed. And then maybe going to the tips of the left fingers or extending that left hand out in front. So keeping the head of an extension of the spine, maybe gazing a few inches past the fingertips. Noticing if your left side or your right side of your core kind of dip down and really engaging both sides of the core. Couple more rounds of breath. One more deep inhale to fill up. Exhaling the left hand down, and we'll keep that right leg straight, but bringing it to the balls of your feet. So right foot is straight back. And then we'll just kind of rock forward and back, feeling that hamstring. Some gentle movements. Slowly finding stillness once again. Kind of kickstand the left leg, so the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. And then we'll bring the whole foot, the right foot, onto the mat, so your toes are facing towards the long edge of the mat. Inhaling the right arm to the sky. And then we'll create some shoulder circles, so we'll bring the right hand so it's down towards the back edge of the mat, and then swoop it towards the ground and towards the front of the mat. And just create some circles with your arm. Going forward a couple of times, and then reversing your direction. And on your inhale, bringing that right arm back towards the sky, using your core to lift up so the right hand is on the right leg as you lift the left arm up and back towards the sky. So you're finding a nice side stretch through the left side. But still trying not to crunch into the right side, so finding length through both sides of the body, still finding space between the shoulders and ears. One more inhale like this. And exhale to slowly release your hands back down towards the ground, making your way back into tabletop. Maybe a nice round of cat and cow, inhaling to open up the chest. And exhale to round and curl. Slowly coming back into your neutral tabletop. And extending that left leg back and up to hip height, right hand out in front. And finding a focal point, remembering to breathe. And engaging both sides of the core. Left foot is nice and flexed. One more deep inhale to fill up. Exhaling the right hand back to the mat, and then bringing the left ball of your foot onto the mat so the left leg is nice and straight. And then a couple rocks forward and back, just feeling that hamstring. Slowly finding some stillness. Again, kicking that right leg so the shin is parallel to the front of the mat, and then the whole foot is on the whole left foot is on the mat here. So toes are facing towards the long edge of the mat. And inhale, we'll bring the left arm towards the sky. And then again, some nice circles with your arm moving forward, and then reversing direction when you're ready. So I'm going to reverse direction now. And on your inhale, bringing that left arm to the sky, using your your core to lift up, bringing the left hand to the left leg, and then your right arm up and back. So again, a nice side stretch through the right side body. Couple rounds of breath here. Inhaling to lift back up, and then we'll exhale to bring our hands to the ground, coming into tabletop once again. This time we'll tuck our toes under, lifting the tailbone to the sky, coming into our first down dog. So first down dog can mean a lot of movement, pedaling out the feet, maybe a nice bend in the knees, really bringing the belly towards the thighs here, pressing the ground away with your hands. And then keeping those shoulders back and down, so space between the shoulders and ears. Maybe you want to go onto the tippy toes and back down. Whatever you need, shaking the head yes and no. And then once you've worked out any little kinks, finding some stillness, inhaling the right leg to the sky, so internally rotating your thigh to keep the hips nice and squared. And exhale, knee towards nose, bringing that right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. Maybe grabbing a hold of those blocks if you'd like to, lowering the back knee onto the mat. You can keep the back toes tucked or untucked, whichever you're more comfortable with. The toes tucked under will help with a little bit with stability. But on your inhale, opening up the chest, finding length through the spine. And exhale to lengthen through that right leg, bringing the toes towards the sky as you fold forward. Again, inhaling to open up the chest, bending into that right knee. And exhale to lengthen and fold. This time we'll stay in this half split. But on your inhale, maybe finding a bit more length through the spine, using your blocks if you'd like to find that stability. And then exhale to fold back down. 2 more rounds of breath like this. And on your next inhale, rebending that front knee, planting your hands back onto the mat, lifting the back knee off of the mat, bringing the right foot to meet the left in plank. A nice inhale in plank. We'll stay here for the exhale. 1 more inhale to fill up. And on your exhale, slowly lowering down to the ground, keeping the elbows close. You can always lower the knees onto the mat. On your inhale, lifting up for cobra, rolling those shoulders back and down, maybe hovering your hands off of the block, so you're just focusing in on your strength and flexibility, keeping the front of your feet nice and grounded onto the mat. 1 more inhale like this. And exhale to lower down to the mat, maybe going through tabletop to get into your down dog. A nice inhale through the nose here. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling the left leg towards the sky. Again, internally rotating the thigh. Inhaling here. Exhale, knee towards nose, coming into your low lunge once again. Lowering back knee onto the mat, maybe using your blocks. And on your inhale, opening up the chest, finding that length. Exhaling to lengthen through the left leg, toes to the sky as you fold forward. Again, inhaling to bend and open up. And exhale to lengthen and fold. We'll stay here for a couple rounds of breath. So again, on your inhale, maybe finding a bit more length through the spine. And then exhale to fold forward once again. Couple more rounds of breath like this. And slowly bending into that left knee, planting the hands back onto the mat, lifting back knee off, coming into your plank. An inhale in plank, staying here for your exhale. 1 more deep inhale to fill up, and exhale through your vinyasa. So exhaling to slowly lower. Inhaling to your heart opener, whether it's up dog or cobra, and exhaling to down dog. Remembering that vinyasas are always optional, so you do not have to go through those. You don't have to do any of them if you don't like, child's pose, down dog, whatever you'd prefer. A nice bend in the knees, gazing forward, hopper walk to the front of the mat. Inhaling to half lift when you get there, so fingers to shins as you lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Another inhale here to fill up, and exhale to fold forward. So we'll be in this forward fold for a couple rounds of breath. If you'd like to bring your feet a bit wider than hip width distance, maybe opposite hand to opposite elbow, a nice bend in the knees, really allowing the crown of the head to go down towards the ground. A little sway from side to side could feel nice. Slowly releasing your hands down towards the ground, bring your feet so they're hip width distance once again. And vertebrae by vertebrae, making your way up to mountain. Inhaling your arms to the sky. Exhaling to cactus, the arms opening up the chest, keeping the core engaged to support the spine, maybe bringing your gaze towards the sky. And on your inhale, bringing arms back to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to half lift, and exhale through your vinyasa or straight to down dog. Nice full breaths through whatever transition you choose. Inhaling the right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose, shifting your weight forward, really trying to get the shoulders aligned with the wrists here. Again, inhaling that leg towards the sky. Exhaling, knee towards nose, this time coming into your low lunge. Setting up for your warrior one, so your back foot is like at a 45-degree angle with your toes facing towards the left front corner of the mat. We want to try and get both hips so they're facing forward. So if you want to widen your stance at all or shorten it, whatever you need to get those hips squared and feel comfortable. And then we'll inhale the arms to the sky, a nice bend in that front knee. Exhale to interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale to open up the chest, rolling those shoulders back and down. And exhale to fold forward into humble warrior. So relaxing head and neck inside of the right leg as you maybe bring those interlaced hands towards the sky, keeping the chest open, but letting go of any tension in the neck, the head, just really allow it to hang. But keeping the legs engaged here. And then we'll slowly release our hands down towards the ground, bringing them inside of the left foot, and we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold, so both of your feet are facing towards the long edge of the mat. And inhale to half lift here. Again, you can always use blocks. Exhale to fold forward. You can stay still, or if you want to bend into one knee and then bend into the other knee. Kind of find some side lunges. Couple more rounds of breath. And then slowly bringing your hands to your hips. Inhaling to find length through the spine as you come all the way up. Bringing your arms so they're parallel to the ground, and then that front foot so it's facing towards the long edge of the mat. Inhaling here and exhaling to bend into that front knee, finding your warrior two. So making any adjustments, but you want your feet to be perpendicular, and then your feet can be either heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. A nice bend in that front knee. Maybe closing your eyes here to just make any adjustments, whether it's softening the shoulders, engaging the core a bit more. Flipping the front palm to the sky and reversing your warrior, left hand to the left leg, still a nice bend in that front knee. On your inhale, lifting back up to warrior two. Exhale to reach forward, extended side angle. So maybe the forearms on the thigh, reaching that right hand down towards the ground or a block, wherever you're feeling. Inhaling to lift back up, warrior two. We're going to pivot on that back foot, bringing our arms to the sky, coming into crescent lunge. So making any adjustments for your crescent lunge. And then settling in. So maybe bringing that left hip forward a bit, right hip back. Inhaling here. Exhale for an open arm twist towards the right bent leg. Inhaling back to your crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your hips, lengthening through both legs, so maybe popping that back leg forward a bit. And then we'll inhale for length, exhale to fold forward. You can always use blocks here. Release your hands onto your right leg, the ground, whatever you'd like. If you'd like a little bit more than this, then you can bring your weight into the right foot and maybe bring your left sole of the foot towards the sky. So that's an option, or your pyramid. Again, inhaling to half lift, finding some length, and exhale to refold. Slowly bringing that left foot behind the right so the pinky toes touch, or as close as you can to having them touch. And inhale to half lift with these crossed legs, and exhale to fold forward. You should feel a nice stretch through the outer side of the left leg. Slowly unwinding out of those crossed legs. Inhaling to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms to the sky, maybe a little micro back bend, opening up the chest. Exhale to fold right back down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale through your vinyasa, whatever that means today. Nice inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling left leg towards the sky. Exhaling knee towards nose and shifting that weight, trying to get the shoulders stacked on the wrist. Inhaling left leg back towards the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose, this time coming into your low lunge. Setting up for your warrior one as you inhale your arms to the sky. So again, you can always shorten or widen your stance, whatever you need here. And inhale for some length. Exhale to interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale to open up the chest, maybe bringing your head and gaze towards the sky. And exhale to fold forward inside of your left leg, maybe bringing interlaced hands towards the sky as you relax your head and neck. And slowly bringing your hands down towards the ground, making your way into your wide-legged forward fold once again. So your toes are facing towards the long edge of the mat. And inhale for some length. Exhale to fold forward. This time you can just fold. You can bend into one knee or the other. Maybe plant the right hand onto the mat or a block. Inhaling the left arm to the sky for a little twist. One more inhale in this twist. Exhale back down towards the ground, planting the left hand. Inhaling the right arm to the sky. And again, a nice inhale here. Exhale to refold. Bringing your hands to your hips, a nice lengthened back as you lift up. Bringing your left foot towards the front edge of your mat. Arms are parallel to the ground, and inhale here. And on your exhale, bending into that front knee, warrior two. Making any adjustments. Again, a couple rounds of breath here to just maybe close your eyes. See where you can lengthen, where you can soften. Keeping that nice bend in the front knee as we flip the front palm to the sky and reverse the warrior. Right hand to the right leg. Inhale to lift back up, warrior two. Exhale to reach forward, extended side angle, forearm to thigh, left hand reaching down towards a block or the ground. Inhaling to lift back up, warrior two. Pivoting on that back foot, bringing our hands towards the sky, crescent lunge. Maybe bringing that left hip back, right hip forward, and inhale to fill up. Exhale for an open arm twist towards the left bent leg. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling hands to hips as we lengthen through both legs, maybe popping that back foot forward a bit. And then again, inhaling here. Exhaling to hinge at the hips, folding forward. Maybe bringing your hands to blocks, the ground, your left leg, whatever you're feeling. And then you can stay here, or if you want to bring the weight into your left foot, lifting the right sole of the foot towards the sky. Both options work perfect. And inhale to half lift here, lengthening through the spine. Exhale to fold forward. Slowly bring the right foot behind the left, so trying to get the pinky toes to touch. And then an inhale with your crossed legs. Exhale to fold forward. Again, nice stretch through the outer right side this time. Trying to let the crown of the head face down towards the ground. Slowly unwinding in the legs. Feet about hip width distance as you inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Maybe a little back bend. Lengthening on your next inhale. Folding forward on your exhale. Inhale to half lift. Exhale through a vinyasa or straight to down dog. Nice inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. We'll go through that one more time on each side, adding a little bit more. So on your inhale, lifting the right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose. Inhale, lengthen to the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose, coming into your low lunge, setting up for your warrior one. Inhaling, arms to the sky. Exhale to interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale to open up the chest, maybe bring head and gaze to the sky. Exhale to fold forward into your humble warrior, relaxing head and neck inside of that right leg. Maybe bringing interlaced hands towards the sky. Slowly bringing your hands down to the ground, coming into your wide-legged forward fold. Any of the options that we did last time, or maybe grab the left ankle with the right hand as you inhale the left arm to the sky. One more inhale like this. Exhale to fold back down. Grabbing hold of the right ankle with the left hand as you inhale the right arm to the sky. And using that ankle to kind of press that ankle into your hand here. Again, a nice inhale. Exhale to fold. Bringing hands to the hips, lengthening through the spine. Inhaling to lift up. Hands parallel to the ground. Front foot facing towards the short edge of the mat as we exhale into warrior two. Flipping front palm to the sky and reversing. Inhaling back to warrior two. Exhale to reach forward, extended side angle. Maybe the same variation that you had last time, or if you want to bring a half bind, bringing the left hand behind the back, or a full bind, bringing that right hand underneath the right thigh, clasping onto the left hand. In either binds, rolling that left shoulder, open a bit more. So nice open chest here. Trying not to put too much weight onto the front thigh. Inhaling to lift back up, warrior two. And then we'll pivot on that back foot, finding our crescent lunge, arms towards the sky. And inhale here. Exhale for an open arm twist towards the right bent leg. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, hands to hips, maybe popping that back foot forward. So two long legs here as we hinge at the hips and fold forward. Bringing your hands to wherever you'd like. And inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Bring the weight into the right foot, a nice bend in that right foot so you can do that. And we'll come into a standing split, so lifting that left leg towards the sky. Sometimes we try to find more lift in the left leg, but then our hips become a little uneven. So trying to keep everything, you can even bring a hand to your low back just to make sure everything is nice and squared. It might mean that that left leg goes down a bit, but that is okay. You can practice a bit more balance here, maybe bringing the right hand to the right leg, or maybe both hands, finding a focal point, remembering to breathe, seeing where you can go, a couple more rounds of breath. And on your inhale, we'll find a lengthened spine, but that left leg is still behind us. We'll bring the sole of the left foot towards the sky. And then for about 30 seconds, we'll pulse that left foot towards the sky. So just keep pressing that left foot towards the sky for like, I don't know, 10 more seconds. Until I start to feel something. Here we go. 5 more seconds. Slowly beginning to find some stillness, bringing that left knee towards your nose. Inhaling to a one-legged mountain. So arms towards the sky, left knee is bent. And then we'll continue some balancing. So staying here if you'd like, or maybe grabbing hold of your foot with your hands. And then you can keep that knee bent if you just want to stay here, focusing on keeping that chest open, long spine. Or you can maybe begin to lengthen through that left leg, finding a focal point, breathing. And you can stay here. Or if you want to bring the right hand to the outer side of the left foot, again, you can have as much of a bend in that lifted left knee as you want or need, but you can maybe find an open arm twist, bringing that left hand out behind you. Breathing wherever you are. And then if you're in that twist, slowly coming back into center, releasing that foot, inhaling the arms back to the sky for your one-legged mountain, and exhale to fold forward, bringing that left foot with you. A nice inhale to half lift here. Exhale to fold forward. We'll stay here for a round of breath. Maybe exhaling out through the mouth to let go of some heat. Inhaling, arms to the sky. Exhale to fold right back down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale through a vinyasa or straight to down dog. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Letting go of that right side. Inhaling, left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose. Inhale to lengthen to the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose, coming into your low lunge and right into your warrior one, inhaling arms to the sky. Exhale to interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale to open up the chest, maybe bringing head and gaze towards the sky. Exhale to fold forward, relaxing head and neck inside of that left leg. Maybe interlaced hands towards the sky. Slowly releasing the hands down towards the ground, lengthening through both legs, coming into our wide-legged forward fold, so feet facing towards the long edge of the mat. And inhale to half lift there, and exhale to fold. Your choice on any of the variations that we have done, or if you'd like to just fold here for a couple rounds of breath, just kind of letting the head relax and everything. One more round of breath. Slowly bringing your hands to your hips, lengthening through the spine until you're in standing. Bringing your arms so they're parallel to the ground. Front foot facing towards the short edge of the mat, and inhale here and exhale into your warrior two. Flipping the front palm to the sky and reversing. Right hand to the right leg. Nice bend in that front knee. Inhaling to lift back up. Exhale to reach forward, extended side angle. Again, if you'd like to explore a half bind or a full bind, bringing the right hand behind the back, or bringing the left hand underneath the left thigh, clasping onto the hands. Whatever you're feeling, this side could be completely different, but rolling that right shoulder open a bit more. Finding that breath. Slowly inhaling to lift back up, warrior two. Pivoting on that back foot, finding our crescent lunge, inhaling the arms to the sky. Exhale for our open arm twist towards the left bent leg. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, hands to your hips as you lengthen through both legs, maybe popping that back foot forward. And on your exhale, hinge at the hips as you fold forward. And inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Bringing your weight into the left foot, a little bend in the left knee as we lift the right foot off of the mat, coming into standing split on this side. So again, being aware of the hips, keeping that lifted leg engaged. Maybe practicing some extra balance, bringing the left hand to the left ankle or both hands. Test it out, see where you can go. If you fall, no worries. Couple more rounds of breath here. And releasing any balance that you might have, bringing your hands either on blocks or the ground so we can find a long spine. And then we'll bring the right sole of the foot towards the sky. And again, begin to pulse for about 30 seconds here. Take it at your own pace. Remembering to breathe. More seconds. And then finding some stillness, beginning to bring the knee in towards your nose. As you inhale up to your one-legged mountain, arms to the sky, a nice bend in that right knee. And if you want to stay here, staying here. If you want to grab hold of the right foot with your hands, and then finding a nice open chest like this, or maybe exploring lengthening through that right leg. Maybe fold here or stay lengthened. And then the last option is maybe bringing the right hand to the outer side of the right foot as you come into an open arm twist, bringing that right arm behind you, maybe gazing at your right hand or a focal point. Breathing. Slowly coming out of it. Inhaling the arms to the sky, coming into your one-legged mountain. And exhale to fold forward, bringing the right foot with you. And inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Again, a couple rounds of breath here in your forward fold. Letting gravity do the work. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Maybe a little back bend on your exhale, opening up the chest. Inhale, back to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Bending at the knees, coming onto the balls of your feet, tucking your chin in towards chest, belly towards the thighs. Maybe extending your arms out in front of you. A nice breath here. And then slowly coming down onto your sit bones and onto the back. Bringing your arms out to a T, feet about 90 degrees from the ground, so a bend in the knees. And inhale here, exhale for a twist towards the right. So bring those legs over to the right, maybe shimmying at the hips if you need to a bit to get them stacked. And then if it feels good, gazing over at the left fingertips. Trying to get both shoulders on the mat here. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling over to the left. Again, making any little adjustments. And then maybe gazing over at the right fingertips. Inhaling back to center. Wrapping your arms around your legs. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Circles with your knees. And then we'll bring the forehead towards the knees, tensing up throughout the body. So tensing in the toes, the fingers, the eyelids. And inhale here to fill up, feeling all of that tension. And on your exhale, releasing into your final relaxation posture, whatever that looks like for you today. So taking up as much space as you need. Making any little adjustments. Getting settled in the hips. Letting go of anything in the shoulders. Relaxing from the toes to the calves. Your knees, relaxing in the thighs, relaxing the entire length of the spine to the crown of the head, relaxing in your shoulders, down the arms to your forearms and your fingers, unclenching the jaw, softening the eyes. Maybe one more inhale through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Really allowing yourself to be completely relaxed here. And so you can stay in this meditative state for as long as you can. I will leave you here. Take all the time that you need. Thank you for sharing this practice. Have a lovely rest of your day. And namaste.